Hello and welcome to
Anyway,
chapter 254 of the DC Alliance podcast. With me, as always, is Joe, and we're going to switch things up this week, and we're going to review a Marvel film, Craven the... no, we're not.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
okay.
The
That's
Marvel
later.
Alliance guys are going to be reviewing that after us, but we are here to talk about Creature Commandos, Episode 3, as well as some official, coming from James Gunn, official DCU news with
Yes.
another film in the works. Well, we already have a date that is coming out, a year actually. So I guess that one is in production. We'll call it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So before we get into all that, Joe, how you been doing today?
Oh, today has been crazy. I went and saw Craven today.
Ugh.
I did enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie.
You're
Actually,
very. You have a very forgiving nature with movies.
I really do. I really do. But
Sometimes.
well, there's definitely certain movies where I'm like, I burn it to the ground.
I know Morbius. The last
Um,
time I think we all joined Marvel Alliance for a movie review, that one was it was so much torture of so much making fun of the movie that it was just a hilarious stream.
Oh,
Like,
that's how I enjoyed Bloodshot when that came out with Vin Diesel.
oh
Like I
god,
went to the theaters with two friends and we just ragged on the movie the entire time. And that was the last movie I saw before COVID hit. So that was my whatever. But like when did that?
Maybe I would enjoy Dragon Ball more if I went with more people.
Maybe. When did that? And then came home, took care of my dog, had to take him for a walk. Got to watch Smallville, which will the season finale of season 5. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. And then my girlfriend and I decided we're going to try and fix our thermostat because it's been getting cold. It's been being colder more than it should be. So we actually replaced our thermostat, which in theory could have been like a 20-minute job. Took us like an hour. It still technically isn't done. I'm not entirely sure. Like we're having an issue right now where some lights are flashing and there's like an hour lockout. But she is kind of working on that as I'm here. So she's awesome. She's totally awesome.
She's Wonder Woman. She's a Wonder Woman.
She is. Speaking of Wonder Woman. But no, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, buddy. Week has ended. This is the last full week. We'll be here in the city next week on Saturday. We'll be leaving to go to Allison's parents for 1 or 2 weeks. Okay. So we got some good news on the DC front about that before I leave. So we'll get into that later.
Maybe.
I'm confident because we didn't get it like this before, like the news of that. But besides that, everything's good. I think we have some Christmas Santa Claus party or something Sunday that I have to go to. So
okay,
putting on jeans and a dress shirt, that's always a fun time. Not at all. I just live in sweatpants because I work from home. So yeah, that is what I'm dreading, Joe. But I have a couple days to wait until that gets here.
Sure.
We have the network plugs. Let me get those out of the way before we have a question here in the chat already. Listeners, we are part of the Geek Ultimate Alliance with 6 shows in total. On Mondays, bi-weekly is Ranger Alliance. On Tuesdays is a walk through the Multiverse. On Wednesdays is the Animation Nation, where we came back this week talking about a couple trailers and a couple episodes of Beware the Batman. Spoiler alert, I'm not a big fan of that show so far.
I think I ever watched the first episode. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I tapped out.
Yeah, there's been some knockoff villains that C-tier villains that they're exact copies of the A-tier villains. Anyway, we also have Star Wars Alliance on Thursdays, Marvel Alliance on Fridays, and DC Alliance on Saturdays. 3 of those shows also had their own podcast feeds: DC Alliance, Marvel Alliance, and Star Wars Alliance. They also all go live on the Geekverse YouTube channel on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern is Star Wars Alliance. On Thursdays at 9-10 p.m. Eastern normally is Marvel Alliance. And on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern time is DC Alliance. Marvel Alliance is going live after us tonight to talk about Craven, the Sony film, the end of the Sony Marvel universe. I can't wait to hear their thoughts on that. We also have a Patreon, 2 tiers, a $1 tier and a $5 tier. The $1 tier is basically a tip jar, like what we're doing. You want to help us out any way you can. And the $5 tier is where you get your extras. You get your ad-free episodes, early access to episodes, and Patreon exclusive episodes. Myself and Joe are going through all the DC films through the years. Stick with us. There's over 25 pieces of content on there now, all the way back from Batman 66 We also had the Marvel Alliance guys, Chris and Brent. They did their Tales from the House of X, talking about their favorite Fox Marvel films. Then they also did the Infinity Saga, that's on the backlog for the patrons. We also have Joe's Multiverse Minutes, where he's doing his Disney deep dives. Not only is he talking about a Disney film, like reviewing it, but he's giving you behind the scenes, fun facts, tidbits, all that sort of stuff. We thank everyone that's a patron, but if you're not a patron, you take a quick 30 to 60 seconds, rate and review the podcast on your podcast app of choice. It's always greatly appreciated. It helps other people find the shows, and that's always a good thing. Okay, Joe, we got a question here from Iggy. Do you think we will get the Batman Brave and the Bold movie at the same time as the Clayface movie in 2026? Oh, hell no. I don't see us getting the Brave and the Bold until after at least part 2 of the Batman. Buster Barnes says, Iggy, no way. Brave and the Bold is 2026. Yep, same here. There's not a chance of that happening.
I mean, the only chance of that happening is if they announce it next week, that script is done and they already have their actors and director. I mean, they already have the director, but they already have like the actors set, which they haven't said any of that yet. So that's not happening.
That's why I think the Batman Part 2 is a much better chance of coming out in 2026.
Well, yeah, because they start filming February.
I'm not sure yet. Like Gunn still keeps saying that there's no script, but
okay.
I still just from alone of you have all your crew cast, like there's the other same people that's hopefully going to come onto this film as well. So you don't have to do all that process of getting all that together. So
yeah,
I think that. Joe, we got a show, another episode for Creature Commandos, season 1, episode 3, of course. Cheers to the Tin Man. What do you think about this episode?
Kind of fun, kind of sad, kind of all of it. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I did. I liked it. I mean, obviously not doing spoilers. Trying to say, what can I say? I mean, look, GI Robot killed a shit ton of Nazis, and I am all here for it. Yeah, all here for it.
I is my favorite of the 3 episodes so far. Really enjoyed this. And like Buster Barron says in the chat there, episodes keep getting better and better. I love the backstory for GI Robot here that we got, and the couple times that we placed it wasn't like its own thing. Chris in the chat and says, I want my own GI Robot. I want at least the Funko of that, Chris.
And maybe because I don't know GI Robot's original backstory, and I'm pretty sure it's probably similar, but I keep going back to the new Ghost Machine line over on Image with Junkyard Joe, and it's almost identical to what we got here.
And I'm pretty sure I did a little bit of diving in before I knew we'd talk here about GI Robot, because there's a couple different, like he made his first appearance in 1962 Star Spangled War Stories number 101. So yeah, his thing, like there were 6 versions of him, and that's why like I don't think there was number 2 written on our GI Robot, so I wouldn't rule out anything before we get into spoilers territory.
I mean, I just thought that was just the helmet he had, but because he had it again in the present time.
Yeah, but there are different versions, and I do think there was a version that got destroyed at the end of that war stuff, and they built another version. I do think from the digging that I did.
Okay.
So yeah, let's rip off the spoiler Band-Aid here and get into this, Joe. Boom. Let's bring this up here. The notes. So we're going to open right away with the flashbacks for GI Robot. I absolutely love this. We got a little bit of Sergeant Rock, which we know is rumored to be a film as well. Chris says Jeff Johns wanted to do a run in DC with obscure characters. Some of that are being highlighted in Creature Commandos. He repurposed that pitch for Ghost Machine,
which makes sense because Geiger is almost copy paste of Dr. Phosphorus. But don't get me wrong, Geiger and Junkyard Joe, great characters. The Ghost Machine books that are out right now, I've read. Almost all Redcoat, Geiger. What was the other one? The one with the crow guy.
I haven't read any of those, so
They're good. Like, they are really good.
it's definitely going to get added to the list of things.
The Rook. That's what it was. The Rook.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, it's like I'm enjoying them. Even though I've got some beef with, I don't have beef personally with Jeff Johns, but like sour taste in the mouth kind of thing. It's doing good. Thanks, Chris. I figured it out. Thank you.
You got there before the assist was needed. So yes. Yeah, we got his flashback here. What do you think about the flashback?
I mean, I loved it. It was great. Like seeing him. I mean, he's doesn't know what he's doing. He got put into Easy Company and is like, yeah, I'm going to follow you, Sarge. That's what I'm supposed to do. And the minute they get pinned down by the Nazis, he's standing there just like watching what's going on. And once he figures out bad guy, he's like, game on. And it was great. It was awesome.
And again, I love this because we also got to see Will Magnus as well, who was the creator of the Middleman, and he actually had some interactions with GI. I really thought this was cool. I don't think we've seen Will Magnus in live action,
no
TV series or anything. I don't think so. Like nothing in Smallville, if I can recall. But that's 10 seasons.
But nothing. I mean, Will Magnus is most notably for the Middlemen, and we haven't had the Middlemen in live action. So that being said, we wouldn't have Magnus.
No, but this is a cool way to I could see us getting a Middleman project.
This could easily be a backdoor pilot. Well, a backdoor project.
Again, it doesn't have to be animation. It could be, but I totally can see that here as well. Just as well as Sergeant Rock is a potential for people for a project for us to get. Buster Barnes says, if there was a Middleman project, would it be therefore set in the past as a 60s when he has a GI robot in his lab? You could have him as an older, or you could have him as an older version of himself, or you could tell it throughout the time. Because
I mean, it could start out in the 60s. That way, you have Magnus teaching the Middlemen what everything is, who they are, what they can do, and then you go through the times, and so like you see Magnus growing older and then passing away, and the Middlemen moving on, without him, and as they get into like today time.
Yeah, and there is potential to get rid of him the same way you saw, well, not same way, but kind of like you saw with Frankenstein, the Bride of Frankenstein.
Well, I mean, he killed his
creator. One of the middlemen, well, the middle woman, falls in love with Magnus in one of the stories that I read anyway. So,
yeah.
So that would be,
yeah. But here's the thing: unlike Victor Frankenstein, he doesn't do anything with her.
That's true. He doesn't want anything to do with her.
Yeah.
On the game says, why do you suppose the audience scores have been a little soft relative to the critic scores? I don't want to say, but there are rumors of some sections of certain fandoms having sour grapes and posting a lot of negative stuff.
What?
That's what I've seen.
Why would they do that?
Myself, I don't have a lot of time in my world or life to even give my own audience score to a project, let alone before I even watch it, just have a outrage score. So
I mean, it's one of those things where I've got so much I have to do just to get episodes out. I'm not going to go and like bash something that.
But you're ruining this for me, audiences, because I used to use the audience score more than I would use a critic score for the show. But as Buster said, the fact that there's review bombing and the audience score is still 78% shows how good it is. 100%. Buster, it's just sad, that would be a higher percentage. So it was number 2 on Max. I haven't seen it for this week. But again, this is the start of DCU, and we're definitely enjoying it. Joe, let's take our first ad break before we go any further. Listeners, we're on an ad-supported network. We don't pick the ad to the volume. We're going to do a quick 3 count to adjust your volume, and we'll be right back in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. Okay,
it is currently still number 2, as Buster just put in the chat as well. But also our favorite movies on Max as well right now of this year. Our favorite movie of this year.
Oh no!
Joker, Follow Your Doom.
Oh God! I tell you, you'd have to pay me to watch that again right now.
I might, if I'm being honest, I might watch again, knowing having the deeper thought. Like not the gut reaction. So
The breakdown that you had, yeah. Like actually, you know what? I saw Quentin Tarantino on a video say usher a lot of the sentiments that you showed in the thread that you sent me. So
okay,
not a wrong way of thinking that.
But that's like the other thing. Like I covered Arcane season 2 this week, and Iggy, we talked about that. I had covered Arcane season 2, and like when I first started seeing reactions from people, it was like, "Oh, this is terrible." They rushed it, they dropped the ball. But like I started rewatching it a couple times. I'm like, no, this actually is a lot deeper than what
still going on right now, right?
So like, but that's what like people will watch something, get their gut reaction, and not get a second watch through because they just don't. They're like, no, I hate it. Like,
but we'll call a spade, and the audience reviews of Creature Commandos is mostly like Snyder fans that are angry. And again, that is like the whole Harvey Dent of you either die here or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. You're fighting the very same thing you complained about literally like 8 years prior. So just take a victory lap there. I'm just going to keep enjoying my projects.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed the prior stuff too. Myself enjoyed it. Okay, Joe, let's keep going on here now. We got to go to what happens after Will Magnus gets GI Robot, and that is he gets purchased by a collector of old war memorabilia stuff.
Yes. Which I'm like, okay, this guy is definitely like, maybe he was really into, I don't know. He definitely had like a relative that was probably in it. And then like he gets GI Robot, walks into his house, and you see some of the war memorabilia, and I'm like, okay, like, I mean, I get, it's modern time, so yeah.
And normally you have collectors that collect like not just like from whoever won. They're collecting Confederate stuff, even though they don't believe in their ideals. Same thing with Nazi stuff. Although
it's one of the things they're trying to preserve history.
I think collecting Nazi stuff is illegal, though. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure.
I mean, look, okay. I'm going to say this with the utmost. Nope, fuck. I'm going to say that. It used to be illegal, but then we had the president who was a piece of shit and brought all that back out, and now he's going to be president again. Yay! Fuck all.
Yeah, I'm not very happy about him because he's kind of giving Canada gears. So.
It's a great thing that he just announced here recently that maybe I won't be able to bring grocery prices down like I promised. You think, you orange piece of shit?
Luckily, we have Creature Commandos here, Joe.
Sorry. I'm gonna drink water.
And so GI Robot goes with Sam to his let's just call it his neo-Nazi group.
Yep.
And I love this as GI's watch me, and he's like noticing tattoos on the back. One got 88, which is like a Hitler thing.
The minute I knew what was happening. The minute he's like, "Hey, I got a group I want to take you to," and then he walks in and he sees the 88. He sees a couple of the other symbols, and I'm like, "Ah."
And I wondered for a second too that is there a chance that he'll just like be friends with him because he's friends with him? And nope, he just spun around and literally killed everyone, and it was awesome. I could not have been more happy. What is the rating for Creature Commandos outside of the US? We get it in Adult Swim. I think we're getting it. Yeah, we know on the game.
Not surprising at all.
Not too surprising. That was a terrible one.
That was bad. Yeah.
So all the Nazis are dead, and GI that's basically what gets him caught with Amanda Waller. But this like flashes back to what's going on at present time, Joe, which is the Creature Commandos come in as and save the Bride of Frankenstein, and I can't remember her name. That's driving me crazy.
Nina. Yeah.
Nina. And Nina's up in the bathtub, GI Robot, who actually shows concern for her because they were still Nazis get her, which I really enjoy that. Grabs her from the tub and runs back out. And I love how Flag realizes
grabs her with the tub.
Like picks her up and goes on. And before we go too far, the flashback when he saved the brigade, like just shot up and they all got down and he blew them all away, and then he formed memories with them. I love that. It's just a little bit extra than just the completely cold robotness, and it's awesome. He has fond memories of that crew. So
yes, he does.
Yeah, Flag realizes that this was all a ploy to get them over here and leave the princess by herself, so they all take off back, and then we get a crazy just action montage there.
I mean, it shows that Magnus did definitely upgrade GI robot.
If he mentioned I'll upgrade you if I get a chance to.
Yeah.
And he does. He puts hover things on him, and because GI looks at Flag and he's like, "Are these Nazis?" And Flag's like,
he took a second. It's like, yes, they are. And he's smiling the entire time.
And I love when he's the sensors on him. There's just Nazi symbols for the people, Nazi symbol, Nazi symbol, Nazi symbol for their face, and he just basically like he's saying in a coin operator.
That was a song, coin operator.
Okay, well, I'm just essentially it's the same thing. You just put the coin in, and he just starts spinning around and shooting and shooting and shooting. And again, the way they show this stuff in animation is fantastic. It all looked great. They were all dying, and there's no anything held back in this show at all. And while this is going on, Cersei's sons of the Amazons are going after the princess. They get pretty close to getting her, Joe, and she gives him the duty with this giant old school pistol. It's crazy, and it looks like she's going to get away, but no, we see Cersei there. What do you think about this, where Cersei was closing in to basically take out the princess?
I mean, this was the plan, so it makes sense. I didn't really, because of what we had talked about after the show last week, I think I was expecting something to happen. So I don't know. I think I was just waiting on that. But the episode, her coming to get Cersei or to get the princess, and we find out a little bit more why at the end. It tracks. But she played right into Flag, and the creature Commandos played right into her hand.
Yeah, and it's only from the grace of Weasel that they were able to take her down, because he came out of nowhere at the end, just scratches up her face, does a number to her, and then she's taken out.
Well, yeah, she drops onto the ground. He's just clawing and biting at her, and then Phosphorus comes up and burns her face.
Yeah,
and stops her.
And instead, Bride looks and says, "You wanted monsters, you got monsters," and that's how we end the episode, Joe. And it's a great episode. Best of the three for me. I can't wait for the one next week, because we're going to get a bit more of why Cersei's doing what she's doing. And one of the stills shows several DC characters killed, but they're DC characters that exist. So that's an interesting point. Wait, DC, what? They're in the DCU. Yeah, I saw a little preview, and you pause the still, and there's several heroes on the sticks, like spikes.
Oh, okay. I didn't see the preview. So
yeah, a few of them, like Starfire's one that was noticeable. So I'm not Superman's Kate. Wonder Woman was there.
Okay. Well, I mean, hey,
Damian Wayne was there as well.
So Iggy says, if Zack Snyder did the same as James Gunn, they will praise him. Well, I spelled praise wrong. And I'm assuming, there we go. Praise Zack Snyder for the adult entertainment for WB Max. I mean, here's the thing. They gave Snyder his chance. They gave him the opportunity. And what we got from him, the 3 movies we got, I adore. But then they screwed him over. And so he's not going to want to work with them again. So he's done with them. Now, he went to Netflix, and then things didn't go good at Netflix. So that's not... I loved Twilight of the Gods. I was going to talk about it, but I think I mentioned it in the episode. One of the episodes that, as much as I loved it, it kind of left my brain immediately, and that's not a bad thing. It's just I have too much stuff that I watch and too much things to retain. But Snyder, just go. I still go watch his movies. All of the other fans will go watch his stuff and praise him there. Them booing Gunn is it's stupid, because this is still characters that we love. I don't know.
Iggy, I don't care anymore. Zack Snyder hasn't shot anything for DC on film with a camera since 2016.
Technically 2020.
Besides some things in his backyard. So I don't care. That era is over. We don't need to continue to talk about what they would do if Zack Snyder did this or that. He's not doing that. That era is done. Those are my most enjoyable DC films, but I could not be more excited for the DCU. I don't want to go back and talk about that anymore. Ben Affleck is 50-something years old. He's not coming back to play Batman. Like, it's just not happening. Not happening even if they had the power to. It's not happening. He's not doing it. He has his own studio that that's actor and director driven that he's been focusing on 100%. Can we just stop this? Restore, save, whatever. You might get something in animation if you were smart enough to do that and be sensible about it, but that's not going to happen. So I'm just looking forward to DCU, looking forward to this fantastic show that we're watching so far.
Here's the other thing. Like, if you go look at Marvel, people love Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. People loved Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. People love Tom Holland's. Yes, we got them all back for Spider-Man 3, but like, that was, I mean, they were in the suits when their masks were off. They were in the suits flying around. Maybe Garfield, because he's a little younger, but like, Maguire wasn't. Let's be honest. Like, he's too old. But at the same time, like, did you see people complaining to get Sam Raimi's Spider-Man back? No, they moved on to the next thing. We need to move on to the next DC thing.
We already have, Joe.
We have, but people have.
No, but like Iggy there, focusing on this little section of fans.
But that's the other thing. Like, but that's the thing. Like, we could hope for a cameo in the future, and that's it. I'm fine with that. We got cameos from Maguire and Garfield. I mean, they were roles in the movie, but you know what I mean. Like, we got the cameos in Deadpool. Like, that stuff's done. Like, we had it, we love it. We love it.
Yeah, like, and cameos. I didn't even think about that. I'd like to get 5 successful movies or 5 successful projects in DCU first before I go thinking about anything.
Sure, yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is, like, we could look toward the future. I want to look toward this new project, the DCU.
That other time's over now. It's dead. Bury it. That's a quote. It's done. Now, you might get somebody come back in 10 years to be a Kingdom Come version of some character. Maybe. Who knows? But, like, just
we got that.
Go to Superman. Watch it. If you don't like it, no one's forcing you to like it. Just give it a shot. That's basically all I can. And like Buster Barnes said, Ezra's not coming back. Although, shout out to that. Basically, the person that was accusing him of all the stuff about grooming his child came in after and said, "Yeah, I was completely wrong. I made that's not true at all." So, but none of
that didn't get any news, and the other one did.
That got 1/100th of the traction, and they did not use those crazy pictures that they used prior to shock and bring out the right side to yell at him. So yeah,
all right, let's move on, because we definitely need to get done before Marvel does their stuff.
Yes, and we have some news here today.
Yes,
not a whole lot, but still some. The biggest thing, there's going to be a Clayface movie. It's officially greenlit by DC Studios with Mike Flanagan. He's finished the script. Filming is expected early 2025. James Gunn tweeted about this and said, "Exciting news out of DC official studios today. As you need a better name. You need your own Twitter handle, not just DC official. You need DC Studios' own official own Twitter handle there, James. As Clayface, a DCU story from a script by Mike Flanagan, has officially been greenlit. Clayface premieres in 2026. So it's a DCU property, Joe.
Which is interesting. And I mean, I was already going to be watching it because it's Clayface, and I Clayface the character I've been wanting on screen for some time. But Mike Flanagan's writing it. I love Mike Flanagan, man. Like, his stuff has been great. So I'm also did they already say who was going to be directing it, or have they rumored that?
No, there is rumors about that. Buster Barnes, I just want to echo his sentiment. Happy that this is in the DCU, as it'll be more fantastical.
Yeah.
I didn't see Carlo, sorry, because I'd much rather Mike Hagen, Matt Hagen.
I mean, again, there's plenty of Clayface we could choose from.
Yeah,
plenty. So,
and we looks like we're still going to see him in the DCU. So hopefully we get his origin, because I don't think we've gotten that ever Well, besides obviously Batman the animated series and like comics, but I don't think we've gotten that in a live action property.
There's been no other project. Like he's only been in the cartoons and the actual animated cartoons. So like, yeah, he's got he has gotten origins in there, but having it in live action is gonna be kind of fun. Should be.
And yeah, we much rather it be in the DCU than Matt Reeves' world, right? If we're going to pick one of the two for it to be in.
I mean, why not both? Like, yes, the DCU makes more sense to have it there, but like you could throw it around in Matt Reeves' version. Like you might change it up a little bit, but
you have to have it less fantastical.
Sure. Well,
and then the giant spike and the giant hammer and going down to Batman.
No, you have him.
You haven't be more like Caped Crusader if he was going to fit in that world.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Kinda. Like instead of being a giant monster, it's you can actually just morph into the character you need to be. Yeah.
And Buster Barnes says this just adds what Gunn said about the DCU will have its own individual stories with its own tone and genre, which I think is good to appeal to different audiences. 100%. And it looks like Buster Barnes has access to our notes because the next thing is what he said too. The rumored budget for Clayface is aiming to be about $40 million. So that's pretty cheap. You can make it like that. That's, like he said, a little risk, a lot of reward. So I'm down with that. Clayface is one of my favorite Batman villains that we've never, especially one that we've never seen in live action. So give me a Clayface thing. I don't think we'll see DCU Batman in this film. I could see him like showing up in Batman's world later on down the road.
I know you don't have it in the notes, but apparently the rumored release is 2026.
Yeah,
which we had talked about a little bit earlier. It was in chat.
It was in the James Gunn tweet that I sent there, or I posted there.
Oh, did you actually just talk about? Look, I was busy looking at things. So yeah, like if that's cool. I don't think
Jeff Snyder also says that James Gunn might actually be the one that directs the Clayface movie.
Oh, interesting.
Because he said at another interview that after New Year he's going to think about what he's going to do.
Clayface.
I also saw April for that. Buster Burns said, "Do we think Batman's getting delayed now? September 2026 is the rumor."
Again, the rumor for Clayface. I don't think Batman's gonna get delayed as much as. I mean, because I'm pretty sure I saw that it's gonna start filming next year.
I'm not sure if that's 100% accurate right now.
Well, sure, but I mean, they're working on a script, obviously. Yeah. Colin Farrell said he hasn't seen a script yet, but he knows that he's in like 6 scenes. So,
Anthony, have you seen the new Batman animated series, Caped Crusader? Because there is a version of the character in there that would be able to exist in Matt Reeves' universe.
Honestly, you can also go back to the original Batman animated series version, but like without the giant hammers, like you said.
Yeah,
it's just him morphing himself into the character he wants to portray,
which is in the Caped Crusader show for an episode, and that's a great portrayal there. That's the way that I would go about that if I was going to put it in Matt Reeves' universe. But I'd prefer to have it in the DCU because I want a more fantastical Clayface.
I want the giant Clayface monster.
I want the one that get the hammers.
That we're going to see in Creature Commandos because it was actually in one of the trailers.
Yeah.
So.
And then Buster Barnes says, "I'm wondering if this will be set up for Creature Commandos in that as a crazy murderer, apparently, according to Tudyk."
Like I had said, and I think we talked about it last week as well, Clayface there's actually like 6 or 7 different Clayfaces. So you can pick and choose any of them.
The one that people are most familiar with, like general audience wise, if they're familiar with
any of them, big Clay monster.
The big monster.
Yeah. Actually, I don't think because in the comics, the DC comics one, the New 52 one, Rebirth one, I don't think it's Matt Hagen. I can't remember who it was.
Anthony also asked, do you guys have any predictions on who the actual villains are going to be for the next Batman movie for Matt Reeves? I think one of them is Scarecrow, Anthony. I could see him being
possibly
the factor there. And Court of Owls is going to be looming in the background, in my opinion.
Doesn't mean that. I mean, they could be the looming and then be the third villain for the movie, for the third
I
movie.
also think we're going to get something with Joker by the end of it. Like, he's not going to factor into the movie as a villain, but I do think like him breaking out of Arkham could be a factor, and then landing him into the third film. So I don't think he's going to play a villainous role that will do much for the movie, but I do think that he's going to come around to like cause chaos in the third one.
I want Mad Hatter. That's what I want.
That would be.
I've wanted Mad Hatter and Clayface for so long. We're finally getting a Clayface. I want Mad Hatter.
Before we talk about any more news, we got some news about the Superman trailer. Let's take our last ad break of the evening. Listeners, we're an ad-supported network. We don't pick the ads or the volume. I'm going to do a quick 3 count to adjust your volume, and we'll be right back.
Well, at least another one anyway.
2, 1. And we're back. Okay, Joe. Let's keep going down the line now. We have news for a Superman trailer, and finally the news that we've been always waiting for. The rumor is that there's a press event for a Superman trailer going to be held Monday at the WB lot, and the trailer will be released to the public by the end of that week. So here's hoping that it's at least Friday, if not.
I mean, look, here's the thing: if it pops out on Thursday, actually, we should talk about this off mic. Never mind.
And Anthony said, "Is there a way you can make the character like Jonathan Crane's Scarecrow more morally ambiguous?"
God, no. Man, we don't psychopath.
No, and if the Penguin is there to show you, Anthony, that these crazy people, there's not going to be like half redemption. This is not a Venom story or anything. No, these are pure villains like Penguin. He will kill a young kid in the heart in a second.
So Batman villains who are reformed, I'm going to use the air quotes reformed. You got Harley, Poison Ivy, Catwoman, Clayface for a while, Deathstroke, sort of like he's still a killer, but he's not like he's a mercenary. Scarecrow, Joker, Riddler to an extent. Those guys are complete psychopaths.
Yeah,
they will kill just to Joker, especially kill just to kill. Ra's is technically he's morally ambiguous. Like his methods are not
morally ambiguous.
Sure, why not?
Mass murderer is more of the.
But he's trying to save the world. So by saving the world, he's got to wipe out a city. It's fine.
Okay, as a man, yes. Gonna wipe out this many to save the rest.
Look, if I wipe out half of the earth, the other half would be fine.
No one's gonna hold a grudge at all.
Nope. No one's gonna come after me 7 years later.
Buster Barrett said it'd be cool if DCU Batman popped up at the end of Clayface that leads into the start of the Brave and the Bold. I know
that wouldn't be bad.
It would be the way you do it if you're actually telling like this is the world not caring, but the first time we're seeing Batman is in its own film, I'd say. Buster Barnes says I think it might be a short teaser like what WB did with Barbie. And Anthony says, question for Superman specifically, did they clarify if the Authority is the main villains of the movie or if they're just going to make a cameo? I don't think they're the main villains of the film. Anthony.
No, I think, like Buster says, I think Lex is the main villain.
Lex is the main villain. There's a couple others, like the Engineer, who is an Authority member.
Yeah, she's
we're not sure if she's an Authority member now or if the Authority
at that point, yeah,
going to get formed after the events of Superman. If they were formed prior, we don't know that yet. We just know some of these people exist, but their group might not exist yet. They might already exist, and Superman and the Justice League might be the reason to have them is because the Authority exists and they're like not taking things away. Like should be a lot more sensible, not like punch first, ask questions later. And yeah, like I said, the Engineer. Okay, Joe. Like I would love for Superman trailer to come out before next week. It would be the nice way to end off this year.
It would be
DC, yeah.
So yeah, no. I'm looking forward to it. Like I know Buster thinks it might be just a teaser, which probably.
Mm-hmm. Can I say one thing we don't need? Can we not get the teaser of the trailer the day before the trailer? Like I don't need the 10-second teaser of the trailer. They've been doing
trailer drops tomorrow. 5
years. I don't need it. Just I'll watch it tomorrow. That 10 seconds. Don't show me that. I don't want to see that.
But you gotta get those clickbait hype.
I think the worst one that I ever experienced was the Justice League 2017 because they did it. Every individual character had its own trailer, and every individual character's trailer had a teaser the day prior. So it was absolute insanity.
Anthony says, I'm confused. Did James ever clarify by the time Clark starts his career as Superman, how long Bruce has been Batman in his universe.
He said Batman's has been established. So, and if he has Damian as his Robin, which is what he's going to have, he's been there for at least 15 years because.
Well, I mean, if you go by
but,
the actual lore,
yeah.
you could easily bypass that and be like, well, at least you have Dick had been Robin for a while. Yep, I said it that way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And like you said, it makes sense for it to be released next week when Mufasa and Sonic out there get a lot of eyeballs on it. I just can't wait. I would be now. One thing that I found odd: Fandango released its their biggest survey yet, over 9,000 Fandango ticket buyers for their most anticipated movies of 2025, and here are their top 10. Where do you think Superman would fall on there, Joe? Have you clicked on the graphic before?
Well, I have not.
Okay. Where do you think Superman would fall on there?
I'm gonna say, what was it? Top 10 you said?
Yeah.
Fandango's top 10. Superman should be at least in the top 3.
That's what I would think. I would think it would be, honestly, from whatever's number 1, I thought Superman would be way above that.
Let me click on this because I want to say it now.
It's number 9, which is shocking.
Number 9
behind Captain America: Brave New World.
Oh, the most anticipated. Yeah. Okay, so
the start of a new universe too. Like, come on, that makes no sense to me. Accountant 2 is above it. Like, Fandango movie goers, what are you smoking? Like, Accountant's a good film. Accountant's a good film, but I mean, like, Superman and Accountant, like.
So here's the thing: Cap, Fantastic Four, those are already established IPs, like with Marvel. Mission Impossible, obviously, it's the final, air quotes, final movie established. Jurassic World, of course, again established. John Wick, the ballerina, like, okay, you're still in this world. It's a new character, still in the world. Avatar, don't know why, but it's there. And then you got Wicked, which Wicked part one was gangbusters. So of course people are excited for part 2. At least it's more exciting than 28 years later.
Thank you. Buster Barnes says Fandango had summer 2023 list with Flash and Transformers at 3 and 4, Barbie now.
Oh, jeez.
9. So yeah, like I said, this is just, and it's just like he did say, there has been no marketing yet, which is the point to this. And also the brand has been a little damaged from the films that came out last year. It's not like you're like, that okay, I see
is DC, a big thing.
Let me run to the film. And then you get Joker. They're like, here's our different thing. And everyone thought that sucked too, like most people. So
kind of like what Anthony says here, Superman's going to get hurt at the box office because most DC fans are apathetic and they don't trust even James, which is unfair. Which we talked about.
I will say, Anthony, I do think there's a chance that it gets the Wonder Woman treatment in terms of legs. I think that now having fantastic. Oh, look. As Alan the Game says here, having Fantastic Four and Superman so close together are not great. I still am not sure Fantastic Four makes that exact date, as I don't even think I think they might have just finished wrapping. Like,
they just wrapped.
So
that is a quick turnaround. Because that's only 6 months to get the film done to then show to
the world. And like one of the people one people's on fire. Like, literally all the time. The other person's rocks all the time. So, I that will be the greatest hurdle. If 4 left and went ahead a couple months, then you could get a Wonder Woman type run for Superman. And I think that's the way that it really builds up. I would love for my personal cause of what I think is a success is over 660 million. That's my. I don't need it to make $1 billion.
That's what we're saying. We're saying. Yeah. I think I was saying 6 to 7. Yeah. So yeah, like if it makes 750, like you think, it's gold. It's good.
I just wanted to make more than previous Superman film because same kind of rules apply. Starting the universe, coming off not so great last Superman film, coming off not so great last DC films. In this case, I just wanted to make at least 700 million. I think it would be a nice, great number there to go forward. WB wants a bill, but I think it all depends on legs. And if F4 there is not making $1 billion, spoiler, I don't even know. I think it would be closer to the 600 million that Buster Barnes is if F4 is there. And on the game I'm saying it has to do at least 700 million. A lot of us think it has to be successful like that on the game to continue going. But I will say, Joe ranted. Joe, sorry, nothing else, nothing coming out in August. So these
so Buster showed that. So both could do good. I mean, I know they're not coming out the same weekend, but you could have a let's see, F4 F Man. I'm trying to think of a good combo for that one. Not really any.
Also, I know Joe had a little like we both kind of give crap to the future president there, but there is one thing: if you're DC fans, if you're DC fans, it's the last time he was running things, there was no blockage of AT&T Time Warner merger, but after that, like there was multiple times where people were stopped from doing that very same kind of thing. And now that he's president again, there's a very likelihood that that might happen again. There might be another takeover of this company. Like I wouldn't rule that out. Like honestly, that would be more my expectation. So
I mean, he works for the billionaires and not
what
us.
what on the game saying here. Like, please go out and watch it multiple times if you can. And Anthony says this isn't another question when it comes to superhero movies, specifically in DC. Why does it seem like Batman's better in the box office over Superman in general?
It's no different than Batman in the comics. Like Batman is the character people like.
He's also a little bit more relatable. Like obviously no like peak physical condition, but
yeah, like I mean, I'm halfway to being Batman. Both my parents are dead. I just need to I'm going to the gym to get ripped. And I just need money, so I'm halfway to being Batman.
Who knows you? I think those circumstances for that first thing are a little different than what happened to Batman.
Look, but it's fine. Parents are dead. It's all that matters. My parents are dead.
Super fantastic. What?
Yes, because the name of Superman Fantastic Four together. I was trying to think of something. All the games got me.
A lot of people who say $1 billion are haters, setting unrealistic expectations. Yeah, especially when you're starting a new universe, Buster Barnes, coming off of what we just got. But again, we're going to remain positive and we're excited to see it. Another thing here, producer Dean Laurie says people are already aware of Wonder Woman's existence in DCU, which will make sense with the Sons of Themyscira.
Exactly. Well, yeah, because we had it. Yeah, we're in here. So in Creature Commandos.
And we got a trailer, Joe. One I wasn't expecting yet. I didn't know this was coming. You will laugh because did you watch the last season?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you will laugh at the end because I saw some people speculating who this could be, and I'm like, if you watched last season, I mean, you got to know who this is, right? So let's
watch and find out.
I got like 17 tabs going on here.
I've got one. I'm special.
So let me just end the volume here. We have a change in address for our two heroes. This is Gotham City, which is really got the crap here. So they're going to Metropolis, Joe, to get their new start. Leave Gotham. I love how they're like, leave Gotham. You got giant rats bringing in helicopters.
That tracks. Okay.
So yeah, they're gone to Metropolis. Lena Luthor is helping. Bane has his princess and little girl.
Oh, Bane.
And we get every person in the crew. Yeah, Lena Luthor gives Ivy a job to run Metropolis's Green Initiative.
Okay.
And we get some appearances of the old gang too.
Oh, yay!
Yeah. I love King Shark. He's just awesome.
King Shark's great.
She's like, I can't promise that I'll be alive. We get Clayface here for a second, who is voiced by the same person who voiced Clayface in DCU. And we get our villain here.
Brainiac.
Brainiac.
Okay.
Which,
the monkey? Okay.
And yeah, Lois is investigating. We have Enchantress here. And this right here.
Man. Red X? X? What?
Yeah. So people were like, who could this be? I don't know who could this be. And I'm like,
watch Teen Titans.
Or watch the end of the season. I mean, like,
he showed up at the end of the season?
Who came up at the Lazarus Pit there, guys?
Oh, I don't remember that.
The person that Harley killed? The person that Harley killed? The hero?
Yeah, I don't
That she killed in her sleep?
Yeah, I don't remember. Oh, yeah. Nightwing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
kill the pistol-smelling humans. Is that Brainiac?
I love how Lois punches like, ow, is that what you guys do normally? And so Brainiac's attacking, Red X is attacking as well. And yeah, It's just chaos, essentially. I love it being like, "Will I be taken out by artificial intelligence?"
So I guess Bane gave up trying to get with Golden Glider's mom, huh? Okay.
Yeah, he got his own princess now.
You know what? I never did finish Kite Man. I should probably go finish Kite Man.
This is probably the funniest part of the trailer show.
Lois calls Superman. What? You don't trust Harley?
Oh yeah, I'm sure her gymnastic skills and her short shorts will save us all. Just
Save
call
me.
Superman. I think Joker is the funniest. The funniest version of Joker is in this show, especially when he settles down.
Oh, I love it.
Oh yeah. So
all right, we got some
chat here.
Yeah, chat's popping off, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So
in the nightmare,
did you guys see? Apparently, Kevin Feige is looking at Robert Pattinson to play Beyonder in the MCU. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh,
in that Nightwing image, Wonder Woman has the swimsuit look. Yeah, in a Nightmare image. Yeah, I noticed that as well. In the trailer, you haven't seen it for the next episode.
Gotcha.
And I've been saying since the beginning, by the time we meet Wonder Woman in DCU, it's not going to be Diana. It's going to be her mother, because Diana is still learning to grow her powers. And Diana, to me, is going to be the Wonder Woman for Young Justice. I push back on that a little bit more because of the Themyscira show that we're going to get, Anthony. I feel like that's going to show her mother in her glory, and I think that we'll see Diana in the DCU. Now, your theory is interesting, but I do think that we'll see Wonder Woman in DCU as Diana. I think we'll see her mother in the Themyscira show that we're still going to get. Paradise Lost, or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah.
And Buster Burns says Bane is the GOAT in whatever iteration. He is definitely the GOAT in this iteration of Harley
Quinn. Bane is what got me into comic books. I started reading comics in Nightfall, and I'm like, this is the best villain ever.
He's the best character. He's my favorite character in that show. That includes Harley Quinn. Like, that's my favorite character.
He's a great character.
Like, just props to. I just wish he was part of the crew.
I mean,
but
he is, but they don't treat him like he is. Yeah.
Finally, Joe, did you get a chance to watch Ryan Reynolds team up? That was hilarious. Couple shots fired at DC at the end there. Please check that out. It's Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool with Linda Carter for raising money for sick kids.
Oh, don't forget Kidpool. Kidpool's there too.
Kidpool's there too. And James Mangold gives us possibly the worst update for Swamp Things that you could hear. Don't know. I've been just the engineer getting this train to the station. So I don't know if you wouldn't know what's going on if you were the engineer of the train schedule. You think that'd be the first thing you knew as the engineer, but I digress. People who say, who asked for Bane Deathstroke movie? Me, I did. We all did, Buster Barnes. And I hate that. There's always somebody that asks for it. And some of the stuff that we don't ask for ends up being awesome. So yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy, people said, who asked for that? We all did.
Anthony's question here: during any of his iterations of the comics, has he been ever this campy like you see in Harley Quinn? No,
never.
No, when he first showed up in the 1992, he broke Batman's back. Like that's where that came from. Like he wore him down. Bane wore Batman down, had him run a gauntlet through all of his villains, and then broke him. Next time we see him, he's working for Ra's al Ghul. And he's like his right-hand man. After that, he is part of...
I feel like we saw him... Before we saw him with Raz, I could be wrong, but I think we got his appearance in the animated series. And I think that was done pretty darn similar. Like, he destroyed... Remember?
The comics, though.
Yeah, no,
the comics.
Okay.
But yes, you are right. He did show up in the animated series toward the end of that run.
Yeah, like before it became the new Batman Adventures.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, he's always been his iterations have always been serious.
Yeah,
because he's a serious character.
Well, I remember watching the first time I ever saw Bane was in the animated series, and I remember thinking like, "Holy crap!" Like I didn't even see who it was first, and this villain bodied Killer Croc with ease, and Batman had such a hard time with him like a few episodes prior. And I'm like, oh my god, who's this guy? So yeah, no, never this campy or funny. Even the Batman and Robin one wasn't really
that okay. So that was probably
he was just going like all the time.
I mean, you could say it's campy because the movie was campy.
But the iteration wasn't. He never even said a word. Skip flexing.
No, he talked. He was talking.
I thought he just went.
No. When he was playing the bombs, he was like, bomb.
Oh my god.
Bomb.
I just blocked that out. Okay, that makes more sense.
He talks. He definitely had like a more like dumbed down speech, if you will.
That's true. But they said that in the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, that Bane was another a character for Batman.
I'm a little confused by that, but unless you mean like foil, yes, foil. I don't know. Oh, so Buster said here. I think the question to Mangold was whether he was doing Star Wars or Swamp Thing next, and he doesn't know.
Which will make sense.
Then if they do a great Clayface movie for $40 million, that bodes well for Swamp Thing. Yeah, 100%.
That's true as well. And Swamp Thing, if you want a great look at Swamp Thing, go watch the first couple episodes of the Swamp Thing TV series.
Just watch that series.
Towards the end, you can tell that they've started running a little bit lower on the budget side of things, but the first couple episodes were like
sure, but
wow,
still a great series.
Right. You can watch the whole series. It's only like 6 episodes, I think.
No, it was because it was supposed. I think it was like 10.
10, yeah.
Because I think it was supposed to be 13. They cut out like three episodes.
Yeah, but again, that looked great. And if you could do that on what was that DC Universe app?
It was the DC Universe because it was that and Stargirl.
That was the first thing that came down on the app.
Yeah,
it? Like that was an app exclusive that came before Titans.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And Buster Barnes, I think we're going to review that in the new year. Here at some point, like when we slow down on content and while we're waiting for Superman, because again, there's not a whole lot of episodes, and that's something that I would love to watch again. Joe, that we have our retro recaps. The final, the season finale for this. There was no episode.
No, this season finale. Yeah, this season.
So, season 5, episode 22, Vessel. What do you think about this episode, Joe?
So, it has come to my knowledge that after the 100th episode, I don't remember squat about Smallville. It's very like little things bits and pieces that I remember.
I say the episode
you don't remember this whatsoever.
The episode you remember the most going forward probably is the Justice episode in like season 6 with the
barely. I think I remember the Booster Gold episode with him and Blue Beetle because Blue Beetle looks so terrible.
I can't wait for us going forward. Then this is going to be even more fun.
Yeah, but I do remember some stuff with like Lex and Lana being married in the next season, and that's really about it.
I remember Lex being taken over by Zod. Like I remember that back in the day. I remember seeing that. Stuff with him and Lana are kind of weird. I thought that the coolest thing with him was him immediately telling her about all the powers he had.
I mean, yeah,
doing a reverse Clark, that was awesome.
100%. And the fact that she wasn't scared and Clark saw that she was okay with it, I think it was just a giant slap in the face to him because like
he was the office gif of "oh come on," like I could have just told her and everything would have been okay, even though the meteorite killed her parents.
Yeah, you could have. Way back when, my idiot dude.
It's my dude because you knew that she would have known that you were a baby and you can't control meteorites. So you definitely wasn't the reason for that to happen. So yeah, I did enjoy that. I also enjoyed just Lex having powers, and I don't know how his dad didn't die. Like, if I'm being honest with you, so they should have toned down the smack a little bit. Like that was vicious. Backhand slap sitting about 50 yards into the windshield. Like he should have been dead. Like,
I'm assuming that whenever Jor-El takes him over, like there's some residual there. Plus, when he took over Clark.
Also, he gets to the hospital. We don't know how because he's out in this like solo.
I would assume since Lex is still Lex, he probably took him to the hospital.
There's a lot of
maybe
assumptions putting on our big assumption pants here.
Again, this I don't remember much of the show, so.
There isn't much else. Chloe kissing Clark, like enough with this love triangle shit. Like I don't need this anymore. Like this is just too much Chloe and Clark. I didn't need her kissing Clark at the end when he left. Like, get out of Green Arrow, please.
There was something on discussing film that was shared in the group chat real quick. Warner Bros. Will be releasing 2 DC movies within the span of 1 month in 2026, an Untitled movie in May and Supergirl in June, allegedly. So,
Well, it had the other film. It has to be Clayface. If he said you'll get it in 2026, and there's only one other film that's already official, so that May 29th thing, lock that in for Clayface. And if that's the
but
kind
that
of movie
close
it
though.
is, I'm okay with that because it's a $40 million movie. If it was like a big production due to do like a Superman or something, no, we don't need those two close together. But I don't
Okay.
think Clayface is gonna like be at the box office for 5 weeks, #1, and then Supergirl's gonna knock it off. I don't think that's gonna happen. So,
Fair.
I don't think that's the kind of movie they're making there for $40 million. That's not what they're paying. If that's the case, you're playing with fool's gold at that point. If it gets to, if it goes from, what did they say here? I was just looking at it. If it goes from May 29th to June 20th, so April, May, June. So yeah, if you get 4 weeks, if you get a full month of Clayface at the #1 at the box office, then yeah, I don't think you'll be too disgruntled if Supergirl's the one to knock it off to #2. So
Okay, that's fair.
like you know what I mean? Like what's the box office on week 4 of Clayface if there's nothing else even if there's nothing else in the theater, Joe? Like there's gonna be
Yes, but
drop
it's
you know what I mean?
also like May is the beginning of the blockbuster, summer. So we're gonna see other movies. I don't know. I'm sure there might be a Marvel movie out
Mhm.
beginning of June.
I guess that's
So
probably why you put it for 40. If you make it for 40, you can take that.
you
Just
can take the
one.
hit.
You can take
Yeah.
the hit. Uh, Chloe was so annoying. Doom scenes. She's annoying a lot.
I do remember Doomsday at least because Sam Witwer. That's what was my introduction to Sam Witwer.
Yeah, the garbage bag. Uh,
He's great.
I think that was besides Clayface. Wondering if it's Jurassic League and Avengers is out in May. There you
Yeah,
go.
in
That's the other.
26. So yeah.
But again, that would be the kind of film that you would put after an Avengers film, like after the 4th week of an Avengers film, and wouldn't care if it only got 30 million at the box office.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's gonna be the 4th week though. Like it might be like
I don't know
week
when
after.
Avengers in May is coming out. Like, is it the 1st week of May?
I
Avengers
mean,
5
something
release
tells me it might be end of May.
May 1st, 2026.
Okay. So then yes.
Yeah. So like that's
You
a full
have
month.
the month. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that would be way you would go there. Buster to not like you have to schedule somewhere, but you think you put it like December or November or something far away, but
Well, yeah, but they also were planning. Weren't they planning both Avengers movies the same year? So
yeah. And again, who knows what if Supergirl gets in? They have some problem filming. You don't know. So again, that's just the best. That's the plan. At least they have a plan. That's the more
yeah,
positive thing that we look at here.
they're going forward with something.
And as far as
It's more realistic than the last one.
Smallville is concerned, I absolutely love the end when Clark is just like chilling out in the Phantom Zone. Like it just shout out to Superman 78 there. Like that was the first time I ever saw that. So
Yeah.
I just thought they got it perfect. And the world's gotten shit, Joe. I think they kind of went a little too extreme with the world going to shit. Like Brainiac turns off the power
I
puts in a
mean, look,
virus.
when you don't have Wi-Fi, you have to actually talk to people. You'd go on a riot too.
And this was back in like 2005. They didn't even have social media or anything. Like imagine, MySpace.
We had
They had, but
MySpace.
yes, goddamn
I
MySpace.
couldn't listen to my friend's 8 top songs or whatever.
I don't even think
I don't remember what MySpace was back then.
spoiler alert for the American listeners. Canada is like 2 years behind America in most trends. So, but when MySpace got to Canada, it was already obsolete by Facebook. So, like, I don't even had a MySpace account. I think my first social media account was Facebook. So,
yes, nothing wrong with that.
so yeah,
You're not missing much.
This was okay. I as far as season finales go, I did like the whole Clark having to kill Lex, and like Jor-El telling him that's what he has to do, and Clark's not going to kill somebody. That's not how he rolls. And instead,
he kills fine.
Yes, which
but he won't kill somebody.
Acts as a conduit, and Zod ends up coming to play anyway. So,
but I'm just like he's being.
And the other thing,
okay.
She's kissing she's kissing Lex Zod at the end, but he's not even Lex. He's Zod. So
yeah, but she doesn't know that yet. She's talking to him like she's Lex.
Yeah, that's true. And he doesn't correct her. He does it in the
Correct.
next episode.
He gets all creepy and grabs her and like, woman, nom nom nom. He becomes Animal from the Muppets.
Repopulate. Kryptonian.
Basically.
Yeah, I can't wait for season 6. It's one I remember enjoying a hell of a lot, especially like the whole Justice League Green Arrow of it all. So
okay,
I can't wait for that, Joe. We'll get into that. It'll be a little bit longer. Smallville retro recaps will go on hiatus for a little while now because
they do like a month, I think, something like that.
But really enjoying the Talkville side of things too, especially when they bring on like the creators to talk about some of the episodes and some of the actors, especially John Snyder getting really pissed off that they killed him and said like, "You're taking away money from my family, taking bread off my table."
Oh, just go make one of those movies that you're really popular for.
You literally have Dukes of Hazzard, which like been paying you residuals for ages, and now you got another show where you're going to get residuals for ages, and you're out here complaining. Good Lord.
John Snyder. But that was before. Like that was back in 2000s. Now, I guess syndication was still a thing for Smallville.
Back then, yeah.
Dukes of Hazzard wasn't really flying a lot. Like they weren't really rerunning those much.
They were on some channels.
One or two channels.
They used to rerun them here on the country music channel.
You know what? I'm not shocked by that.
That and the Reba show.
Hey, I actually like Reba. Reba was great.
My aunt used to watch both. Oh my god. Okay, Joe.
Okay, we gotta get out of here.
Let us end the episode. Listeners, thanks again for joining us. Be sure to check out Marvel Alliance in less than an hour as they review Kraven. I'll try to watch that before I get to that review. Who knows? So
again, I enjoyed the movie. I actually had fun with it. I liked it better than Madam Web. Just saying.
One other thing before I go: Buster Barnes, all in the game. Anthony, Iggy. Thanks for being in the chat. It was fun. See you guys next week.
Chris, don't forget Chris.
Chris too, of course. And for another episode of Creature Commandos. Until then, see you, everyone.
Bye, y'all.